Hey YouTube, it's a new day. It's the same lawnmower. I'm going to take a look at the flywheel key, see if it's sheared, see if that's my problem, and I'll take you with me. And we've taken off the Bilt beauty cover and the recoil, held on by 3 nuts, 5/16. Kind of like that. It's a lot like a Tecumseh. It's easy to change the rope on these guys. So there's our flywheel. These big engines, they don't have that starter cup. It's kind of built into the flywheel with these tabs. That's interesting. When I get my air gun, we're going to take off that nut. And looky there. I think that'll show. We do have a partially sheared flywheel key here. So let's pop off this flywheel. I'm going to thread the nut back down, get it flush with the top of the crankshaft. I have a pry bar. I'm going to try to yank up and hammer at the same time. There it goes. There it is. Let's get a new one. So I've got the bleed brake tied down. New flywheel key. Just like that. Back in business. I'm gonna tighten that down by hand with a socket wrench. Now I'll put the nut on. And I've got my blade brake tool on. I think that should work. Okay, I got the cover back on. Since we're looking at it, I'm going to take a look at the spark plug, because I can't remember if I've looked at it already. If it needs a new one, I've got a new one. So here's the plug that was in this mower. It's probably just fine, but I'll put in a new one anyway. Okay, we're all back together. Got a new flywheel key in it, got a new spark plug in it. Let's see what it sounds like. I have to tell you, this mower is pissing me off. Turns out I had a sheared flywheel key, I replaced it, and it still runs like crap. What's the deal? Piece of junk. Maybe it'll work itself out, I don't know. Maybe I need to clean the carburetor again. Thought that was going to do it. I thought wrong. Good morning, YouTube. It's a new day again. We're going to look at the Bilt again. It still kind of skipped a little bit when it warmed up last time. So I'm going to pop off the valve cover and we will take a look, see what the clearance is. You can see there on the ground I bought some feeler gauges. I can't find mine, so I had to go out and buy some more, which no big deal. But let's get this cover off and see what our clearance is right now before we adjust anything. So here we go. I was surprised. I thought it was a 3/8 bolt to get these off, but my 3/8 didn't seem to fit. I'm using a 10mm metric. Whatever, Briggs & Stratton. And we got all 4 bolts out. Ah, there it goes. A little bit of oil. Let's get our feeler gauges. Okay, I got the spark plug out, and Briggs & Stratton's website says to move the cylinder down 1/4 of an inch. I don't know if it really matters, but I kind of guesstimated that. I stuck a straw in the spark plug hole, got it to top dead center, and then moved it down a little bit. Now my chart in my garage says both valves should be 0.004 to 0.006. And I checked Briggs' website just now this morning and it said 0.004 to 0.008. So I got my brand new feeler gauges. I'm going to see 0.005. See if it'll fit. It fits. It fits very easily. We'll go up. I'll check 0.008. So 8 goes in. 8 goes into both of them. Nine is tight. I'm thinking I'm guessing the top one's the exhaust. Yeah, 9 goes into both. So I think the valves need to be tightened. So we'll do that here. Okay, so I got my 0.005 feeler gauge. Okay. Let you move it in and out. So I'm going to have my helper put the feeler gauge in and out, and I'm going to slowly tighten it. Until we get a little bit of resistance on the gauge. That feels pretty good. I'll do the other valve. So we've adjusted both valves to 0.005. I can show you. So there is .005. Just a little bit of resistance. But it goes in. And then I go one more, .006, and it doesn't want to go in. So I think both are adjusted to .005, which is in the middle of my spec sheet. So let's give this a try. We'll put the valve cover back on, we'll put the recoil rewind back on, and let this warm up and see if it sounds any better. Okay, this little turd of a lawnmower, again, once it gets warm, starts to rev. So you could hopefully see on the spark indicator, we got good spark. I don't think it's the coil. I'm going to dig into this carburetor again, see if there's any junk or water in it still. Alright, we took the carburetor off one more time, cleaned it. I even ran it through my ultrasonic cleaner about 4 times. I'm going to put it back together and we'll put it back on the lawnmower. So in an effort to troubleshoot any possible issue here, I'm going to use the gaskets that came with the carburetor that I'm not using. This one I don't know where it goes, but I did replace the one for the air filter box. And then as I was looking online, it looks to me like in between the carburetor and this plate, it looks like there's supposed to be a gasket there, and there wasn't one there when I took everything apart. But my kit, my new carburetor came with this gasket. I'm going to put it on and see if it makes any difference, if I have an air leak, if that's why it's running like crap. I don't know, but we're going to give this a try. Okay, it's back together. Let's see if this made any difference at all. So this thing, after everything I've tried, it still sputters and skips when it's hot. I've kind of run out of ideas. It doesn't make any sense to me. So if anybody out there has any ideas, feel free to share them. I'm kind of puzzled. Thanks for watching.